Invisible hands reached out from the void, circling her waist and pinning her against the glass. She was trapped, a captive of her own mirror. The heavy oak front door swung open with a preternatural smoothness, as if the house itself had been waiting a lifetime to taste her arrival. A long, elegant shadow stretched across the polished hardwood of the foyer. The sharp clack, clack, clack of stilettos echoed through the vaulted ceilings of the spacious home, bold, confident, rhythmic. The house was as serene as a cat in a sunbeam, spotless, gleaming, still smelling of fresh linen paint and expensive floor wax. Maya took a deep breath, inhaling the scent of success. This was the American dream, realized after years of grinding. She had bought the lot, watched the blueprints come to life, and now here it stood, a pristine sanctuary.
It was a quiet slice of suburbia, a designer home bathed in sunlight, a Tesla in the driveway for her commute, and a 24/7 security patrol roaming the gated community. Her stylish build looked like a cozy cottage compared to the towering glass and steel luxury condos nearby that reflected the sun with a blinding glare. She'd chosen this high-end development because she hated the idea of living in isolation. Here, within the manicured lawns and neighborhood watch signs, she felt safe. She glanced at the full-length mirror in the hallway, an ornate piece with a delicate silver frame draped in fairy lights that gave the hall a whimsical glow. But a long, jagged crack down the center marred the view. She had paid a fortune for a matching set of these mirrors, only for the movers to shatter one during the haul. Typical, she thought. Maybe she could fix it with some gold resin or turn it into a mosaic art piece. Maya turned to face her reflection. Her jet black hair spilled down her back like a dark waterfall. Her eyes were wide, piercing, framed by a sharp, dramatic wing of eyeliner. Her sun-kissed skin gave her an edge of fierce beauty.
Her body was a masterpiece, not just by birth, but through the brutal discipline of 4 a.m. workouts and a strict macro count. She was a celebrity fitness coach, her physique the result of a relentless, star-lit grind. This was Maya, 27, a woman who had clawed her way out of a difficult past and sworn she would never settle for anything less than a Pinterest-perfect life. She ran a hand through her hair, watching the strands fall slowly over her shoulder. She frowned. In the mirror, the reflected strands seemed to hang in the air for a fraction of a second too long before falling. How could the reflection be out of sync with the feeling? They ruined my beautiful mirror, she muttered. I'm definitely filing a massive insurance claim for this. She kicked up her heels by her suitcases in the hall and padded through the house barefoot. But with her very first step, the loud thud of a heel hit the floor. She froze, heart hammering, and looked down at her bare feet in confusion. She took another step. Nothing but the soft rustle of her wool trench coat. Just exhaustion, she told herself. The stress of the move, catching up.
The layout was perfect. 2 bedrooms, one a master suite, the other a home office lined with bookshelves. A cozy living room in muted earth tones, decorated with minimalist landscapes of forests and wild horses. White faux fur rugs added warmth. Floor-to-ceiling windows let the afternoon light flood in. Shedding her coat onto the arm of the sofa, Maya rolled up the sleeves of her white cashmere sweater. She unpacked the groceries. Within minutes, the aroma of gourmet coffee filled the air. The rest of the day passed,
in blissful silence.
10 days later, the sun was setting on another chapter of Maya's new life. The jingle of keys sounded at the door. It glided open. The familiar rhythm of heels clicked across the floor. Maya instinctively flipped the light switch. Darkness remained. Thick. Stubborn. She toggled the switch twice more. Nothing. Giving up, she walked toward the living room. Suddenly, the bulb above her popped with a loud crack. The entire house hissed to life. Not just the living room, every light in the house. Even the fairy lights on the hallway mirror began to pulse. Red, blue, green. Maya froze. She walked to the kitchen and hit the switch. The light died. Bathroom, office, bedroom. She manually shut them all down until she reached her vanity. Her reflection stared back from the wide, unbroken bedroom mirror, but terror gripped her. Her real hair was pulled up into a messy topknot, but the Maya in the mirror wore her hair down, cascading over her shoulders. Same clothes, same face, different hair. It was like looking at a twin who wasn't quite her. Trembling, Maya reached up, pulled the hair tie from her head, and let her locks fall. Only then did the reflection match reality. She hurried to the kitchen to splash her face with water. Her eyes locked on the sink. Her favorite marble-patterned mug, the one with Maya embossed in gold, was sitting in the basin, stained with coffee dregs and a clear smudge of red lipstick.
She looked at the espresso machine, plugged in, humming. This had been happening for days. She would wash every dish, unplug every appliance except the fridge, only to return and find a dirty mug and a powered-on machine. She would have questioned her sanity if she weren't so pathologically organized. She checked her smart home checklist on the fridge. Mugs washed? Yes. Lights off? Yes. Appliances unplugged? Yes. The list said one thing. The room said another. Panicked, she scrubbed the mug, shoved it into the cabinet, unplugged the machine, and bolted to the sofa.
She wrapped herself in a weighted blanket, shivering until exhaustion overrode her fear. She drifted off as the perfect life felt more like a cage. As soon as her eyes closed, the lights cut out, as if someone or something was watching, waiting for her to blink. She woke at 4 a.m., pitch black sods. Her body screamed at her to stay under the blanket, but she forced herself up. She fumbled for the lights, then headed to the bedroom.
She turned to her closet. The reflection stayed still. When she turned back to face the glass, the other Maya was already holding the same bundle of clothes she had just picked up. The deafening crack of a high heel echoed through the house. Adrenaline shot through her. She sprinted toward the hallway. Running heels followed every step. Then, silence. She leaned against the cracked hallway mirror, but she didn't feel cold glass.
She felt warmth, a living, breathing body behind the surface. Invisible hands materialized, pinning her waist. A third hand clamped over her mouth. A foul, metallic stench of rot filled the hallway. She felt dampness seeping into her clothes. With a burst of primal terror, she tore herself away. The wallpaper was weeping black moisture. Tiny white maggots writhed in the rot. She looked at the mirror. There was no reflection of Maya, only her black heels sitting solitary on the floor. The world tilted. She collapsed. Darkness.
You've got some serious dark circles under your eyes, girl. I haven't been sleeping well. You still coming over tonight, Becca? Of course. I'll bring the wine and popcorn. We're doing a horror movie marathon. But later. I don't want tea, Maya said. What do you want then? A pause. Blood. The reflection reached out, pressed its palm against the glass. Hair fell from thin air. We have to leave now. Maya stepped forward. The sound of a heavy stiletto heel echoed. Their palms met. The light bulb exploded. Total darkness, a flash of lightning. Maya was gone. Later,
A security guard stood in the open doorway. Lightning flashed. A beautiful woman with long, flowing hair smiled at him. But in the mirror, a broken, weeping girl with hollow eyes begged for help. The next flash, empty hallway. A melodic laugh echoed through the house. Clack, clack, clack. The next morning, there was no record of a struggle. No trace of a woman named Maya. Are you Ethan Miller? That's me.
He stepped into his new home. In the sink, a marble mug, stained with red lipstick. A high heel clicked. In the hallway, he stood before the mirror, stayed. Its lips curled into a wide, jagged grin, and something ancient, hungry, flickered in those bright green eyes.